Okay, it is Burhan here. We are recording today how to create endpoints incidents, and we will be connecting one public, one private instance to each other via S3 and transferring files from each other. Let's get on to it. The endpoint exercise, the instant, launch an instant. We have to have one private and one public instance. Let's call this Linux public, and here we have Amazon machine image, AWS, Amazon Linux. We'll choose that one, click on that one, and instant type T2 micro as usual, and key pair is very important here. It is Amazon Linux. We choose the key pair, and edit settings, network setting, choose custom VPC, and the subnet is custom VPC public one, and assigning a public IP enabled, and select existing security group that we created in other exercises, which is the Linux security group. So we've got storage is fine, and all we got to do is here go to advanced settings. Advanced settings will allow us to come to IAM instance profile, accessing EC2 S3, and click launch instant. Now whilst this is being activated, going to the 2x2 checks and running, we will create the second instance, which is over here. Launch an instant. This is going to be Linux private, and we're using again Amazon Linux machine as an OS, imaging 64, T2 micro, key pair logging, existing one, Amazon Linux. Network setting, edit. This time we're using custom VPC like the other one, however we have to choose here subnet as custom VPC private one, which is one we created. Assign public address disabled, select existing security group, Amazon Linux like the other one, Linux security group. Configure storage is fine. Advanced setting, click on the advanced settings, and that would be IMA instance profile, EC2 accessing S3, launch an instant after that. So now we go back to the EC2 screen, and instance running. We'll check the running instance. State Linux public 2x2 done already, so we log on to that. We connect with the session manager, and what will happen? That will bring us into the screen here, which is connected with the $sign there. What we got to do is we have to type in some coding. Now the coding is given to us by our teacher, or you can learn coding, and this is quite simple one. VISSH VI SSH will allow us to log on to the Amazon Linux Linux .pem mode. So that will allow us to come to the PEM mode. What we got to do here is click I for insert. If we don't click I for insert, we won't be able to copy and edit this. So we go into the files, and then we downloaded our files from PEM file Amazon Linux. So here we find the whole text of Amazon Linux PEM file. Copy this from 1st to 27th. Copy that and paste it here. So the key thing here is, as soon as we do that, we have to press escape so that we are not able to insert any other coding. So press escape, then insert will disappear from here. While the cursor is in this state, which is it's important here, the cursor has to be lighted. So while this is lighted, we have to press shift button and semicolon button in the same time, and sometimes you can lose it. You have to highlight it again. And then what we did is we then brought the cursor down by doing that shift and semicolon button. We have to type in W and Q to save this. So when we do this, this will change to a different screen. So once we come to the WQ save change screen, this will take us this particular screen. So from here we have to do chmod to change the permission. So we can copy this one, or we can type in chmod 600 chmod 600 SSH Amazon Linux .pem file, as we know. Press enter, and then we will then connect to other private instance. We'll do that. To be able to do that, we have to paste that, and then we need to go back to the other instance, see if it starts running. Let's go to the instance running. So we have to click on the private instance now and get the parameters. So the private instance, as you can see here, 2 ways to check this done. All we got to do is click on that one, this private IP address, we copy that and we go back to it, and what we got to do is we have to delete this private IP typed within the brackets and paste it here, the IP address, and all we got to do is change the now PEM. This is pre-written there, so we don't need it. We got to write here Amazon Linux .pm as our keypad code, and we've used this here as well, the PEM, and then we copied all the code in it. So that is our coding. So are you sure you want to connect? Yes, we have to physically type in yes, and then after that we have to go and create endpoint to access, for the access. Endpoint is on EC2 instance. We go to VPC and find on the VPC screen the endpoints here, the endpoints. Click on endpoints, create an endpoint, name it demo VPC endpoint. Okay, AWS services, the ones accessed, and particular access is to S3. Type in S3 and press enter. You will see this option. We want the gateway option to be checked, and the VPC, select the VPC, custom VPC, and the route table, custom VPC route table, and leave everything to full access. And here we have to create the endpoint. So now that we created the endpoint, we are going to create a bucket. So if we have a look at here, publication will allow us to access everything else. So what we got to do is we'll go to the endpoints. From here we type in the search bar the S3 bucket. We create a bucket, and the bucket is been created on our public server, so we're going to transfer that into private server in a second. Let's call that Burhan demo bucket and 01, or maybe 202. I may have already used that. Leave everything as it is, just create the bucket, and that bucket is Burhan demo bucket. As you can see here, it needs to appear here. So to be able to do that, we have to command AWS and S3 ls. So as you can see, Burhan demo bucket 02 is now transferred from public into the S3 private one. So for the purposes of this, you can see here is the demo bucket is transferred as we named it. We can delete that one, or we can add another bucket. We will delete this bucket here, You have to type in the name exactly, and then that's deleted. Now we need to create a new bucket for the purposes of exercise. Let's do this. Burhan endpoint zero 3, and what we got to do is create the bucket. It will allow us to Burhan endpoint 03. Now we go to instant, and our command is AWS S3 LS. When we click that one here, we shouldn't be seeing Burhan demo bucket 2. We should be able to see Burhan endpoint bucket 3, which is the other one is deleted. Now we've transferred a new one into the private server. Right, you can see Burhan endpoint 03 is transferred from there. So thank you for watching. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close everything down. We can type in here exit, it will log off, and we can get rid of this one, and we go back to the S bucket. Let's delete the bucket, we don't need it. Zero 3 and delete the bucket. So now type in here VPC, go back to VPC and delete the endpoint. So go here to the endpoints, and we should have one demo. So let's delete that. Actions, delete VPC endpoint, delete that from there. So we deleted that one. So now we have to delete the 2 instances from the EC2. So in total we have to delete 4 things. So go back to EC2, instance running should be public and private instance, 2 instances. So if we delete them, terminate them, to be able to do that, just click on the buttons here and change the state of the instance to terminate it and delete it, and please confirm, delete it, and our instance have been deleted. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll see you in the next video with a different topic.